So, I think it's very important that we have a session on this, on perfectionism and everything shame related. Where does this start? With a shame based child, somebody who's a future perfectionist, future judgmentalist, future moralitist, somebody who's just 100% perfect and they can't do any wrong. They might admit that they do some things wrong, but they're pretty much patronizing and condescending, etc. Now, with these people, in their childhoods, action was rewarded, and that was like the only form that was rewarded. So when a child does and the performance is good, then that leads to the child kind of relating love outside of themselves. So everything outside of themselves is what's going to get them love. And that the parents, because they're always rewarding this performance with love rather than loving the child pre performance, the child starts to kind of look outwards all the time for love. So, okay, if I wake up, make my bed, and I have this done, my parents are going to be so proud of me. I'm going to feel so loved. And it's like if I get the best grades, I'm going to feel so loved. But the child doesn't get that internal love for just being themselves with or without action. Doing things for action is good. Unfortunately, we live in a world that literally, that's like the only thing that matters to some people is performance. However, that's inhumane, shame based to be bringing up a child. Or if you can sense this within yourself, I definitely sense this within myself. It's only until recently I realized, wow, like I could actually love myself without having an action based day, a productive day. And as much as we want to tell ourselves productivity is good and that how much we do in a day is really important to our self esteem, it shouldn't be related to our self esteem to an immense amount. Our self love needs to come from being okay that day without having any action. When I started like recording my daily activities on my calendar this year, January, I realized the days that I felt really good were the days I felt good within myself, and the days that I thought would be good. So these are my very productive days where I would get everything that I'd want done with uni work and other things. I still felt like a crappy person. I realized, damn, what do I need? Do I need the recognition? Do I need to tell people that I'm doing this? And I did, and it didn't make a difference. And this is a toxic cycle with shame based performance and feeling like everything external is how you're going to get love because of shame based cycles. One will never have enough to measure up. No matter how much you do, you will never feel like you're ever going to get to that goalpost because you keep looking externally when the internal is the only reason that's like you're trying to fill the internal with external things. And like I said, we live in a world that does promote productivity and action based activities for recognition and for love. You'll get all the support you need once you perform a certain way. That is the issue with our society is we should take care of ourselves without the need for performance. We should take care of ourselves because we're good human beings and that we have a heart. Anyway, this can be a very addictive cycle and can alter the mood, hence why it's addictive. What can we do to contract this? There's a difference between outstanding others, so like completely comparing yourself upwards. Usually with same shame based people, they would compare themselves upwards because they're trying to get to the next best thing. Sometimes they'll compare themselves downwards, which is, oh, I'm not like them. I need to preach to these people. I need to make sure that these people know what they're doing so that they can be perfect like me. And then there's a difference between that and being the best that you could possibly be. And I've made this transition recently, and oh my gosh, it's life changing. All of a sudden, the world isn't a competition with other people. It's a, it's just, you're just living and you're doing the best that you can for yourself with what you have. And you no longer compare yourself to ridiculous realities that other people have, or you no longer feel bad for not being in the same position as some people who you think are lower than you. You just start living your life with what you have, and you're no longer immersed into the social world. You just do what's what you could do right now, like the best that you could do right now. If it is right now that you need to write a book, then write a book. You need to read a book, read a book. But comparing yourself to a position where you'll never almost reach is not only shame-based way of loving yourself, self-torture, because we just want to accept ourselves and heal ourselves for being who we are, for the values that we hold, the ethics, kind actions that you give others, rather than, I know that's action based, but it comes from an internal love and it like rewards your love system rather than, okay, I need to have the schedule fixed like this for me to be happy. I need to get this done for me to be happy. Rather, be happy, therefore the action gets done. We're in an age where productivity is just booming, and self help in the way that's criticizing and just punishing is something that a lot of people value. But we still need love and care, because I can't lie to you, that's the only thing that's going to get you to what you want. Because right now, you probably think you want something, you're going to get to it and realize that you didn't actually mean anything to you in the end. So I'm trying to save you that journey, and look within and love the self that you have now, and then more of who you are could be revealed to you. That being said, I want you to be extra nice to these perfectionists, because you might be one, I might be one, we all have a dose of it, because like I said, this world is not free of shame. Notice that being so perfectionist, and yes, you can give it 100%. Yes, you can give your life 100%. But to make it want to be perfect in a human body where it's not necessarily perfect, we're not perfect human beings, it's almost impossible to achieve what you want. And that cycle is something that is not going to help you in the long run. You're completely beating yourself down. Perfectionists live their lives hoping to gain love externally. But shame is limits. Shame helps you realize your human limits. So it's not like a bad thing at all. But to be shame based is like you're so flawed that you need to run marathons to prove your worth. Like you need to do things to tell people that I do belong to be here and that I do belong to be loved for just me. Wouldn't life just be so amazing if, like, we were just nice? And I will see you next week.